I am Vinnie Tortorich. Folks, your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. Let's hear your impression of me doing the opening of the show.
This is, I'm a Screen Actors Guild member.
You are
professional voice actor.
One of the best in the world.
One of the best in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you're about to hear, you guys, I just want to be really clear. It's Anna doing it and not Vinnie. Okay.
Yeah.
In case you were confused.
And don't pretend you can try to do this, folks. Don't even try, because you will
injure.
Yeah.
Your precious pipes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I think I've injured mine the 2 times I just did the tapes. But it's so worth it.
Yeah.
For you to hear, because now I'm on a mission to do impressions of Vinnie's whole family, but that includes Vinnie.
Yeah.
Right?
But you're not better than my sister-in-law at doing my mom.
I don't know. I'm pretty good.
She is pretty good.
I'm pretty good.
She's the best. Hey, babe.
Oh, no, Vinnie. Okay.
Here we go. Ready? On 3. 1.
This is how you usually do it, by the way. Not this mellow bullshit to Ozzy Osbourne that you just purported.
Okay. Yeah, I used
Ozzy
to help
into the people.
Yeah.
This is the Monday show. How dare you phone in your intro?
I did phone it in. Okay, when I'm on 3, I'm going to point at you on 3. That's when you go. 1, 2.
I am Vinnie Tortorich, folks. Your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent when you started this process, but don't worry. Before long, you'll be lean and mean, guaranteed. I guarantee.
Well, I don't know
That's
about
just
that.
like how you say it.
The whole thing?
Verbatim.
Oh, wow. Go back to doing my mom. Anna, I want to talk about motivation today.
Yes, we're motivated. It's
and
November.
Here's why.
Mm-hmm.
The candy holiday is gone.
Yes.
Halloween is gone. It's in the rear view mirror.
She is behind us.
Yeah.
With all of her demons. Get behind me, demon.
And I'm going to be honest with you. Most people who are serious about getting in shape, weight loss, getting all that excess weight, because we have a weight problem in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the biggest problem we face, right? And most people can skate by Halloween. Let's just be honest.
Yeah,
it's cheap, crappy tasting candy. Some people get hooked every year. I'm not, and they eat the one little Snicker. Or the one little, and before you know it, they're emptying out their kids' little plastic pumpkin, and it's bad. And then they just continue on. But a lot of phone calls I've been getting lately, and I have a story I want to tell about a guy that was 375. As a matter of fact, I did a post about this guy on my Twitter and X and Instagram just the other day. And he's a phone caller. I've spoken to him several times. Excuse me. And he made me realize that we need to do a motivational show. Now, this is the 24th. This is coming out a few days before Thanksgiving.
Right. But it's the week. People are doing it. Friendsgivings probably have already happened.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
Friendsgiving only happens in California. But bottom line,
I think families all over the place get together at different times because they can't.
Whenever they can, and the whole thing. Yeah. Some people take a little vacation time to go travel and get home. I've seen the Hallmark movies. People.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they end up.
Those are reality.
1 second you're getting Starbucks, the next second the guys, the exec goes, listen, you want the promotion, you need to go back to Springfield, and when you get there, if you could get the small, company to see fit, you will get the promotion. It's like, Springfield, I'm from a Springfield.
You can go back to Springfield and put the small company out of business, then you have the promotion.
Your job is to close it down until you meet the guy in the flannel shirt. Now you're going to have a problem.
Good luck closing that down. You can't.
Yeah, because you dated him in high school and nobody understood why you guys broke up. And now you're back.
You did because he was not the man he is today.
Well, he was talking about going into the army, and you were talking about becoming an artist and moving to Chicago,
You
and
wanted different things.
you loved each other, but you knew that you had to go off and do your thing. Right?
It couldn't work.
No. At any rate, that's what Thanksgiving's coming up. People are going back.
Thanksgiving, people are going to be falling in love.
I'm going back. I'm going to Louisiana. I'm
That's
leaving on
right,
the
you
Monday. I'm leaving on the day that this show comes out.
Okay.
Right? Actually, Tuesday, like tomorrow. I'm leaving when the show
Okay.
comes out. And you know, I get it. My mom was already calling. She's like, "Do you want the stuffed artichokes? Would you like a pecan pie? What is it?" And I was like, "Mom, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Right.
Because if you
She's gonna
do it, I'm going to have to taste it. And once I taste it, I got to have it."
Right.
I am not stronger than a stuffed artichoke. I'm sorry. I'm just not.
Right. I'm turning lights on. I'm still listening.
Okay. I can't be, me against stuffed artichokes. If I've had 1,000 stuffed artichokes, 1,000, Vinnie 0. I have never beaten the stuffed artichoke, and it ain't going to happen here now.
I figured out the recipe. I have the low carb version. I
Well,
filmed it and everything. I'm just waiting for it to come from the editor.
Guess who doesn't have the low carb version of a stuffed artichoke?
She'll make it for you once I give it to her.
Tortorich. No, listen, if she did, I'm sorry, I would have to punch her. And it's not good to punch an old 86-year-old woman.
Especially her mother.
Yeah, I love her. Folks, I'm kidding about that. Never punch him and left.
Vinnie hardly ever punches his mother.
Yeah, just, a couple of times a year. Here's the thing. I know how hard it is. I'm addicted to sugar. Right? I get it. I'm going to tell you what I started doing just 2 days ago. Just to get me ready. I said, Vin, you need some motivation. Now, I've been listening to my favorite book over and over and over and over again. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Guy, I don't know if I ever talked about it. The guy was a real shyster in life. People don't know if anything he did was true, or, there was a lot of stuff going, married, philanderer, that kind of thing.
Napoleon Hill?
But he wrote the best motivational book of all time.
He did.
In my lifetime, God only knows how many times I've either read it or listened to it on Audible.
It's so good.
And before Audible, I had it on cassette.
Yeah.
But the first, 7 or 8 times I read through it, and I still read through it sometimes.
I love it.
I went back to another one of my old faithfuls that I have not read since I was a teenager. The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale.
Ooh, Norman Vincent Peale. Yep.
No, look, folks, and people go, "Wait, Vin, you're an atheist?" Yeah. I'm the most spiritual atheist you will ever meet. I don't even know if you would even call me an atheist, because I just don't follow any religion. And I don't know if that makes me agnostic. I have a problem with religion that I don't like to discuss. When people go, "Man, you seem like such a good guy. Why don't you?" I want to believe. And Norman Vincent Peale.
Hold on, but I guess people assume that if you don't have religion, you're not a good person. You can be a good person, not have religion.
It's funny. It's funny. Like, I have people on the consults, they'll go, "It's amazing that you do all this good work. Why can't you go to religion?" It's like, I don't want to discuss it here because things happened.
Right.
Right. Things I still deal with happened.
Right.
But the other side of it is Norman Vincent Peale is all about faith and prayer.
Right.
And as much as I loved that book when I was a kid, I'd forgotten about that part. And I love that part of it, right? That part where he talks about just be quiet for 15 minutes. No, nothing.
Right.
When I got to that part, it's in the first chapter or 2 of the book, maybe the 3rd chapter. He goes, 15 minutes every day, quiet, nothing. This book was written long before we had iPhones, right? Long before. This thing was written in the 1940s or 50s or somewhere around there. He was talking about being quiet and listening to yourself, listening to your soul, right? And believe it or not, it's something, and I thought about that when I was reading, I'm not reading, I'm listening to it. It's like, wow. I do that every day.
Yeah.
Some people call it meditation. I do it while I'm stretching. It's quiet. It's quiet in my office. No one can get to me. Sometimes I'll put white noise on. If I hear like stuff outside, I'll put white noise on, but that's about it. And I remember thinking,
do you meditate just keeping your body still ever? Do you sit like in a chair and just close your eyes and
I lay
breathe and that's
flat.
it?
I lay flat on a hard floor.
Yep.
Not in a bed, not on the couch, flat on a hard floor. Because my neck is so bad, I put a pillow under my neck now.
I like sitting in the chair. I find that if you lay in the bed, you're tempting a nap.
Yeah, I'm on the hard floor and I do the thing, and I'll sit, and I went, wow, I wonder if I took this, because I've been doing this my whole life, right? If you can conceive, if you can believe, you can achieve, right? He doesn't say those words, but those are my words. If I can have some concept of something, if I can conceive, if I can think of something, and then I really, really, it's got to be something you really want, folks. You can't just go. I'll give you an example. Because when I was a kid, I used to go, I want $1 million. Because when you're a kid, you want $1 million because you figure, I can go out. Yeah. I want $1 million. Okay. That's not how this works. You have to say to yourself, what matters to me? What do I want in my life? What do I want to achieve? Right? What do I want to have happen? Right? And none of it happens overnight. You can't just wave a magic wand. But if you wave that magic wand and you say to yourself, I'm going to start working towards this.
Right.
I'm working towards this thing. And if I'm laying on the floor and something comes to me once, I don't pay much mind to it. I clock it, but I don't pay much mind to it.
Interesting.
If it comes to me twice, I go, okay, what am I thinking? And then when I'm not on the floor, when I'm doing other things, maybe exercising or doing something where my mind is quiet, I'll say, why am I thinking about that? What is that all about?
Right.
Right. And then you just start working it up in your head. Right. Next thing you know, you're thinking about it again and again and again. And then you start physically doing things to see if what you're thinking is something that's possible, something that's probable, something that you can make happen. And sometimes when you're doing that, I know this all sounds pretty obtuse. When you're doing that, something else comes in your head and you go, wait, I can achieve this thing on the way to that. This will help me get to that. Right? It's all small incremental things. Serena always says to me, you grew up on a bayou. Nicest people in the world down there. And she goes, how in the hell did you figure out how to leave there? How did that happen? I said, Serena, you grew up in a village. She grew up in what looks like a little Christmas village in the middle of, just exactly what you think an old village with houses that are a few hundred years old, these old stone houses. I said, how did you figure it out? How did Kristen figure it out? How did Matthew, your brother, or Ben, your brother, you all figured out how to get out of there, right? How to do something more. Is there anything wrong with staying in a village and becoming, or in my case, it would have been a village idiot or the bayou idiot, which is where I was headed. But if you have a dream, and I told this to Serena a long time ago, I used to lay in my bed at night and I would dream of living in a high rise. I didn't know what that meant. The tallest building in Ascension Parish is 3 stories big. It's on the the east coast of bank of the river, on the other side of the Mississippi River. It was a bank building, 3 stories high. Everything was shorter than that building where I grew up. My hometown had 1 red light. It sounds like a country and western song. Creedence Clearwater Revival wrote a song. I grew up on When I walked out of my back door, if I took 15 steps, I was wet from being in the Bayou Lafourche, right? But I would have dreams of living in a high rise. Now, where did I see a high rise? On the TV show Dallas. I was like, look at these people. They're living in shiny, they got big buildings. I didn't even know that there were office buildings. Like, I guess people live in those things, you know, because when I watched shows like Mary Tyler Moore, right? She lived in an apartment. It's like people live in places called apartments. I didn't know what an apartment was, right? I learned that from Mary Tyler Moore. Everything I learned from watching television. I famously wrote in my book, I saw the world by watching a show called Wide World of Sports every Saturday. Thrill of victory, the agony of defeat.
Agony of defeat.
The human drama of athletic competition. I even wrote in the book, I'm looking at a place called Kitzbühel. Going, I want to go to Kitzbühel, a place where they killed Jews in World War II. And during Hitler's reign. I was like, that looks like a fabulous place. I wanted to go to Kitzbühel because there was white snow and there were people with skis. And I wanted to be where you can ski and fly off. I thought all skiing was ski jumping because that's what they showed on Wide World of Sports. It's like, oh, obviously you go down a big ramp, and then you fly. It's the closest a human can come to flying. That's what I thought. But somehow I watched television and saw. So I said to Serena, how did you figure out to leave the village? You know what she told me? I watched a show from America called Dallas. Can you imagine two people living in little tiny villages, you know, one on the bayou, one in the middle of, a mud bin in the middle of the countryside of England? Both watched a show called Dallas and said, and with her, she was looking at the clothes. She goes, they all had fancy clothes. I wanted to have fancy clothes. She was walking around in Wellingtons, or wellies as they call them. You could do whatever you want, folks. You have to have a concept. Then you have to believe in your concept. And then you can achieve it. And of course, Norman Vincent Peale talks a lot about prayer. Pray. I used to pray a lot when I was a kid. And I used to, I told this to Serena one time, not many people. I was one of those guys that knelt next to my bed and said a whole rosary before I went to bed every night. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I mean, that's who I was. And somehow that part of it stuck with me. You can if you just use your mind, if you can dream it, you can do it. Now, that brings me to the guy I was talking to on Monday of this week. I'm on the wrong week. Yeah, Monday. He started calling me when he weighed 375 pounds. He had started a few weeks before that. I think he was 385 or something like that. But I like to keep him at 375, because that's a number I can remember in my head, right? He lost some weight. He was doing it. He read the PDF. And he felt like he was on a tightrope without a net, pretty much. My words, not his. And we had a consultation. 375. Before I know it, he's 350. Before we know it, he's 330. Before we know it, he's getting to that number 299.
Ooh,
that's a big deal.
That's exciting.
Right? That's 76 pounds down. We've been working for, I think I said in the thing, we've been working for a year. It might be a year and a quarter. I don't know. He's down to 250.
Wow.
And we were having our consultation. He goes, Vinnie, you've done a wonderful job. I said, no. You have.
You have, yep.
You've done a wonderful job. All I've done is made suggestions. All I've done was when your grandmother died during the year, talk to you. You know, he would call me, we would do consults. When life would happen, we would talk. When he would want to start eating crap again, right? Mr. Promotion called me, this kind of thing. I told him, I said, lean on me, man. Just lean on me all you need to, right? Now, folks, you don't have to call me over and over. Some people call me once. Some people never call me. And they just read the PDF and they lose the weight. But we're having a conversation on Monday. He says, I'm down to 250. I just want to lose another 25 pounds. And I think I'm good. And I said, that'll put you right at 225. And he goes, that's right. If I'm 225, I think I'm good. And I said, but you're 5'10". And he goes, yeah, 5'10", 225. I said, you know, how about we get you another 50 pounds from that? We get you down to 175. And he got silence. It was like you could cut the silence with a
Probably
knife.
couldn't even fathom that would be possible.
That's what I said to him, Anna. I said, you got pretty quiet over there. He goes, I said, is it because that's a weight you don't think you can attain? And he goes, Vinnie, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never weighed 175 in my life. And I said, that's a lie.
That's a lie.
You had to pass it on the way up.
That's a story you made up because you did have to pass it.
You had to pass it on your way to 375. And he thought about it for a second. He goes, I never thought of it that way. And then he goes, you know, I haven't weighed that since 8th grade or 7th grade. I think he's in 7th grade. And he goes, I was the fat kid in the class, you know, 7th grade. I hadn't hit my growth spurt yet and the whole thing. I was a fat kid. I said, again, these are all stories you're telling yourself. You're looking at the world from a different angle now. And, you know, it was right around the time this week when I saw our friend Tim Mallion, who's lost 120 something pounds. He's very proud. I'm very proud of him. He's putting pictures up, the new pictures and the whole thing. And Tim is on his way down, right? And I remember Tim and I having, you know, when he had failed again, he had lost 50 or 60 pounds. He had failed again. I could talk about Tim because he's given me permission. This guy, I didn't get permission. But Tim is 120 pounds. It's the same sort of deal, right?
Right.
Folks, if you can conceive it, if you can have the concept of, yeah, I can be 175, right? Because let's face it, 5'10", 225, you've done an excellent job, but by definition, you're still morbidly obese.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. And I'm happy at 225, but let's do better.
Right.
Right? Let's not stop there. Let's get you all the way. Let's get you healthy. Let's get you 100%. So that you can see your grandkids. So that you can see 86 years old, like Marie.
Right.
Right? That's all we're trying to do. I didn't mean to start preaching here, Anna, but I get excited about this stuff. Right?
I got to say, me personally, I'm more excited to talk about the motivation and the mindset stuff behind the actual details. I love covering the details, but I think because there's always something new to mine, and all of that really resonated with me, and I'm sure it will with the audience, and people will write to you about it. Number one, what struck me is you're a spiritual atheist. So you got the spirit in you. You don't have to define it by anything. It's just, what happened? Where did you go?
I went away. Am I back? I should
You're
be back.
Yeah.
I just went away.
Oh, you did? I thought you exited out. I was like, he stopped, but we're still
No,
recording.
I just went away and I was like, what the F?
That was weird.
Yeah, I'm back now. I mean,
Finally,
sorry.
it was a problem on your end and not on my end. No,
Yeah, go figure.
Did you hear me call you a spiritual atheist?
Yeah, I did. And then I heard everything is just my
And
thinking.
then Spirit was like, just
Like,
don't
yeah,
let him respond because he's going to try to refute it. So we're going to
did I
shut him
just
up.
lie?
Just let him receive it. Let it lie. Let it
Yeah.
land. Let it lie. But I do think that, and I've always thought that about you. You're one of the most, and I don't care if you call it spiritual or intuition or whatever. Same thing with Dr. Drew. You have an intuition about people. You have an intuition about places. Like you go places and you get the vibe and the energy of a place. You know what I mean? Like you're very observant, and that takes a special kind of sensitivity to be able to, because that helps you tune in and help people. And so that guy, whoever that guy, let's call him Jim. I don't know what his name is. Let's call him Jim, who you were talking about. If you're
That's pretty close to his name.
is that his name? Oh no,
That's not his name. It's pretty
okay,
close.
I don't know his name. I swear to God. And I don't have religion, but I do believe in God. So when I say I swear to God,
I'm going to write to you. I'm going to write your name too.
Right. Text me his name. But knowing that you could like tune in and be his coach. And the thing that really hit me is that you're so good. And this is why I always say to people, just book a call with Vinnie because he'll tune in. Like he'll hear your words and what you're saying, but he also kind of just tunes in. And I know that sounds woo woo and crazy, but the best coaches do. They know how to like not meet you where you are, but meet you where you are, but then also bring you up and raise you up. And you're very good at that. And I think that like even just hearing you setting a goal for him that he was not able to set for himself opens up that possibility. And that's like the kind of uplifting that I like to do for people. This is what I want. This is what we need more of in the world. You know what I mean? Expecting, like, I believe that you can do really great things. And oftentimes we need to hear that, especially when we have these big dreams. We have this, and I have to be honest with you. I see a business coach every week to 10 days because this process of building Eat Happy Kitchen is so much larger than anything I've ever done that
Yeah.
I have to uncover those things I have to take my own blinders off and I need help. I need a coach to help me through that, you know? And it's the same thing as like you work out harder with a trainer than you do on your own. You just do.
Yeah.
Because that challenge. So I love that. I love this discussion. I think it's fantastic. And I hope that I would say an addendum to what you're saying is don't wait. As much as I love January 1st and doing the year review and doing the next year's, intentions, you don't have to wait for that. You can do that today. Like you can do that today by saying, I'm committing to these fitness goals today. And I can have my meal at Thanksgiving, but then I don't have to go crazy. I don't have to have the leftovers. I know this sounds crazy, but I could take the leftover pie. And if I can't give it away, I can throw it in the trash. I know that's crazy. It's really hard when you're taught like do waste not, want not. I get it.
Yeah.
But if you're putting yourself first and you know that you're going to eat that pie if it sits in the fridge, then it's not a waste.
I couldn't agree more. And look, we talk about, I just put a little video up of the train. It's on X right now.
Oh my God. The guy's name.
You just saw it? That's why when
it's
you
not
said,
Jim.
Yeah, it's not Jim.
So now who's intuitive?
So I'm like, wow. When you saw the look on my face when you said his name.
I know you
right?
said that and I was like, oh, is it Jim? Oops.
So
it's not Jim though. It is not Jim.
My entire life since I was a kid, like everything else, I'm 63, folks. I wanted a train set.
Yeah.
But we couldn't really afford that kind of thing when I was a kid. My parents had 4 kids. They were putting us through private school. We weren't broke by any stretch. My parents were middle class. They both worked. They took summer jobs when they were off of school. They worked year round. I've never seen 2 people work so hard in my life. And it was just to keep us in private school, right? They wanted us to have a good education because they worked in the public school system in Louisiana and they went, we can't do this, right? That kind of deal. I'm just being honest, right? And so we didn't have a lot of extras. It was all about education. I used to tell my parents, please send me to public school and give me a mini bike or something, just anything. So, you know, for years, I was like, I want to build a train. I want to build a train. And then this year, once I'm making a New Year's resolution, I have to at least get it cranked up and get it going.
Right.
Right. It's like it's like everything else we're talking about. I had to conceive it. Right. So once I did that, I had to start watching videos online. Right. How do you do this? And then I started realizing, oh, you don't just go out to the train store and buy a train track. You can do this from scratch. And then it became Joey Schott all over again. Right. Joey Schott was the guy who taught me how to build a kayak. Mm-hmm. Without Joey, my kayak wouldn't look like a Stradivarius piece of art, right? It would look like crap, to be honest with you. I learned everything about how to chamfer wood, how to make it match, how to glue the stuff together, how to put the varnish on, how to put these clear coats on, all of this stuff, all the sanding. I learned that from Joey, right? And then I started looking at this thing, and I went to there's a train store I went to, and I met the owner, and this guy's an award-winning train builder. And that's when I got excited. I was like, hey, can you come over to my house and teach me how to do this? And he goes, well, you would have to pay me. And I went, yeah, I believe in paying people for their time.
Absolutely.
If you're going to teach me how to do something and you're going to be there with me, making sure I don't make 1,000 mistakes that's going to cost me money anyway. Absolutely. I wouldn't have what I have sitting in my office now. And Serena even said to me, she goes, when you're done with this project, what are you going to do with it? And the answer is, I'm going to look at it. She goes, are you going to play with a train? I was like, probably not. I said, think of it this way. It's mobile art.
Yeah.
When we buy art for the walls in this house, what do? You go in there every day and look at it? No, but when you're in that room, sometimes you look up and you look at it and you get a pleasure from it. Mm-hmm. Right? You look at it and go, okay, that reminds me of, whatever's in that oil painting or whatever reminds you of something. That's why you bought it. That's what art is.
Right.
It reminds you of something. For the rest of my life, this train set is going to remind me of this whole year of finally getting something that I wanted as a child.
Yeah.
And you go, Vinnie, that's pretty childish of you, don't want to build it. You're a 63-year-old man. No. Everyone that's come in this basement and seen that thing has been saying, oh my God, I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Or they tell you about the thing they want to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
and that's
something.
Yeah. Look, Serena went to a party last night because we figured out how to get me out of every dinner party.
Good job. Oh, even better.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to sit there. You're not captive.
As you know, I'm not very good at people and stuff.
Sitting in the corner at my 40th birthday party.
It was sad. It was sad.
Scotch. Hey, Vinnie, you having a good time? Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm having fun. I'm having fun, Anna.
Yeah, I mean, Serena's like, flip, 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 flip.
But by the way, my neighbor, Rob, that lives right behind me, I went over to his house to watch football the other day, and he listens to the show sometimes. And he goes, hey, man, I want to apologize. And I was like, for what? He goes,
for inviting you over.
He goes, you talked about when you and I were going out for dinner and I invited a third guy and you got all flustered. You didn't know what to do with the third guy. It was the guy I introduced you to, who's a super nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right. And I went, no, I ended up liking that guy. I said, look, you got me out of my shell. I mean, once you said, oh, I invited this other guy, I'm like, oh shit. I just got comfortable with you. Now there's a guy? You bringing a guy in here?
See,
what are you
that's
doing
really
to
fun
me?
to do to you.
I know. But Serena.
But you got out of it. You got out of the dinner party last night.
Yeah, well, I didn't even, Serena goes, I'm going out tonight. I'm like, with your boyfriend? She goes, no, it's a dinner party. I went, oh, good.
Boyfriend at a dinner party.
I even said to her, I said, do I have to go eat on my own somewhere? And she goes, No, I bought you a steak. It's in the fridge.
Oh, nice. Even
So
better.
I am a Vocino the F out of that steak. Yeah. I just crumbled up the Anna dust on it, the barbecue stuff. And by the way, folks, when you put it on the steak, it does not taste like barbecue.
No.
It's I add a little extra
tastes like
salt. Anna hates
sorcery.
when I say that, but I add a little extra salt because I like salt. She goes nuts when I say that.
You don't have to, folks.
I know you
Vinnie's a
really
maniac. And he was born desalinated or whatever because
salt.
he needs to take all the salt.
At any rate, I cooked it up, and Serena was at a party, and I was fine. But at the party, they were like, "Oh, we're sorry, Vinnie had to go." And she, what's he doing? Serena goes, "Yeah, he's building a train." She didn't know what else to say.
Just be
The whole
honest. If they have a
conversation-
problem with that, that's their problem.
There were two other guys there that night. I said, "Oh my God, can I come over and see it? My cousin built a
Yeah.
train, and
Yeah.
I want to build
I
a
bet.
train." I'll give you an example. My sister-in-law, KST.
Yeah.
Kristen's married to a guy who's exactly my age.
Okay.
Again, I had to get to know him because when
And is Kristen your
Okay.
age or she?
no, Kristen is Serena's 1 year older than me. Kristen, so I'm 63, so Kristen is 65. Serena's 64. Her husband is my age. He's 63. We're born like a month apart.
Okay.
He's a bit more accomplished than I am. He runs a little something called Bloomberg News. And
I'm sorry. You're
Yeah.
running a media empire called NSNG Lifestyles.
yeah, I told him we can
You
compare.
are a
notes.
documentarian producer. Okay.
Yeah, and
You
by the way,
has he done over 4,000 hours of podcasting?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, John Mickleswaite, folks. You guys can go look up my brother-in-law.
John, come on.
I
the show.
always try to explain to John that we're both in the same business.
That was like when Lucy was in high school and she was friends with Pamela Adlon, right? The voice.
yeah.
actor.
She's big time.
And Lucy
actress.
was friends with Gideon
Comedian.
and Odessa, and they ran around together. And Lucy was like, Pamela's so cool. Pamela does voiceover. Pamela does cartoons. And I was like, yeah, so does your mom.
Yeah.
We're in the same business, you know. And she was like, whatever.
I know. Isn't it
And
funny
she's
when
not
your own
wrong.
kids?
Because Pamela Adlon's career is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pamela, and I find her oddly sexy.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that wrong?
Well, and her voice is amazing. I mean, just
Yeah.
she's great. She's great. Anyway.
Yeah.
So John.
Anyway, so yeah, my brother-in-law is very accomplished. And by the way, they live in basically a castle.
Right.
It's
Not
just
basically it is, right?
it's a big thing. It's not a cat. They have a lot of space
Mm,
and they have a lot of homes and what have you.
sure.
Whatever. Oh, so there's one bedroom in John's house, in this big giant house. It's the bedroom that Tallulah sleeps in.
Mm-hmm.
It's commonly referred to as the train room.
Mm.
I never asked.
You get to sleep in the train room.
There's no train in there. The bed is
Oh.
not shaped like a train. There's
Oh.
no nothing. It's
bed's not shaped
beautifully
like a
appointed
train.
like every other house.
By the way,
And
if you described all the reasons why a room would be called the train room, I would never have guessed because the bed is shaped like a train.
Have something. There's no wallpaper with trains on it or anything.
Okay.
And I said to Serena one day, I said, why do they call that the train room? And she goes, no, I'll find out. I'll ask Kristen. About a week later, she says, oh, remember you asked me about the train room? I said, yeah. She goes, yeah, at one time, John and his father, John comes from a very wealthy family. So John grew up in this house.
Oh, okay.
John and his father were going to get together and build a train, and they were going to do it in that room.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, they never got around to it.
Oh.
Think about that. All the success,
All of that money, and they
All-
still didn't
all
build
the
the
money.
damn train.
never got. So who's got a richer life?
Right.
I got a train. You know who doesn't have a train?
That guy.
John Mickleswaite. No train. Not a train. He might own a train company, like a whole company.
Yeah, he probably
Probably.
does.
Yeah. But he doesn't have a
He
model
can
train.
afford to go on all the real trains.
Okay. Serena was there. I wasn't there. Serena was there, and Kristen was like, "Yeah, we're leaving, and we're going to be in London." And Serena sees her in the kitchen. She goes, "I thought you were leaving for London today." And she goes, "Yeah, we're leaving in an hour." She goes, "I thought you had to be there at like 2:00.
Oh, yeah.
And while Serena's saying that, she hears flum, 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 helicopters coming down.
And off
It's
we
like,
go.
oh, God. Come on. You know, that's how they live. But look,
I wanted to say, talk about motivation. I got back from Seattle. I was in Seattle all weekend,
yeah.
which is why we recorded earlier last week. And I went to 5 town and countries. And I'm trying to describe a store that's like town and country, and there isn't a store that I've been in. It's like Whole Foods, but nicer, but not uppity at all. It's super friendly, and like if you're like they sell oysters in the thing. They have you know what I mean? Like
Right.
their fish department's insane. Their butchers are insane. Like it's just paradise. Great grocery store. And so many people from our community turned up. And the best part about it was for a day and a half, I got to work with one Miss Jackie Jones.
Oh, how's she doing?
She's fantastic. And I'm going to tell you, this woman, she took so many photos. Okay. First of all, she's a fabulous photographer.
Mm-hmm.
She's indefatigable because these grocery demos are exhausting. She drove over from Eastern Washington, from the state, over to where I am, spent the night in a hotel, joined me on Friday and half of Saturday, and then her mom was being honored for a Veterans Day thing, which is so super cool.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Just didn't... She was more on time to the demos than I was because I misjudged the car ferry because I didn't know about the whole car ferry thing to go over to Bainbridge Island. I'd never been over there, which, by the way, is paradise. I'm like, whatever. You guys just live here. You just live here in all this. It's beautiful. I was so blown away by Jackie, and then I got to see Foxy Hoxie. She turned up with her husband Sam.
Nice.
I mean, there were Lyle, Kristen. I'm trying to think of there were so many people from our community who turned up. Sue, Jennifer, there's this cute family, Jonathan and I think Shomara was her name. I would, by the way, and I love when the young families come up. You know why? Because I always think that our audience skews older. So when there's younger families, I get really excited because it means that they're working with the kids and they're, you know what I mean? Like they have a head start from where I was in my 20s and 30s. And I think that's really exciting when the kids are involved and the young families are involved. So that was really cool to see. There were several people who brought their kids and took a bunch of pictures. But here's what I loved about Seattle. The people in Seattle, first of all, are the nicest people. And here's how I knew this right away. The way they drove on the freeway. Vinnie, you lived 30 years in Los Angeles.
I did.
So you know what I'm talking about when I said I knew right away the way they drive on the freeway. They are nice people. They are good people.
Let me explain what Anna's talking about. If you're on the freeway in Los Angeles, you are a fool if you use your signal to cross to a different lane. Because if you let someone in LA know that you want to get into the next lane,
they speed up.
They will speed up and not let you in.
Right. On purpose.
Nobody will let you in. Yeah, because everybody's trying to get ahead.
Right.
Something. I don't know what it is.
It's so crazy. That is one of probably 100 different unwritten rules of driving on the freeway system in Los Angeles. I grew up in DC driving. You've driven in DC now. That's where I grew up learning how to drive. It's nuts. It's nuts. Atlanta, insane. I went to Seattle. I was like, oh, you guys are nice people. I can tell already. But I arrived. I got in about midnight. I had 2 demos on Friday, 2 demos Saturday, 1 on Sunday, and then I had to head back to the airport to especially go early because nobody knew if flights were going to be canceled or whatever. I got home fine. And it is a really lonely thing to do this, to go to a city where you don't know anybody and to go around to these grocery stores, to be alone in the hotel, to be on and peppy and energetic and trying to sell people on the brand. It's a really lonely existence. So the fact that people turned out meant the world to me. The fact that I got to spend a day and a half with Jackie, who is just, she's a way better human than you and I will ever be. She's just really good. She's a really good human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's one of the good ones. But the people of Seattle were they love clean food. They get it. They get the memo. They are on board with clean food. They also will prioritize spending their dollars on clean food. And they love supporting small businesses. So it was really, they were mine to lose, you know?
Anna, can I ask you something about Town and Country Grocery Store?
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it before. Is it associated with Town and Country magazine
It is
at
not.
all?
It is
It's
not.
just called Town.
It's just Town and Country Markets, and it's really nice. And I know that there's a bunch of different. By the way, because the Seattle people are like, what about Met Market? I am pitching the cheese bites to Met Market in a couple of weeks. I'm pitching the spices to Albertsons. We pitched Lunds and Byerly's. These are the pitches that are going on because you guys write me all the time about, hey, how about this grocery store? How about we presented to Publix? We'll see what happens. It's nonstop with trying to grow these grocery things. It all has to time out with their category reviews. PCC Market wants to hear about the spices. Albertsons, if they take it in, would put it in the Pacific Northwest. So we're trying to knock the pins down as we go along. But I just
Anna, you got a huge compliment from one Mr. Don Coddington.
It's the billionaire Don Coddington's Friday 5
Now,
o'clock.
as you know, Don has spent his lifetime in marketing some of the biggest hacks.
He texted us.
He wrote to me and said, this is spot on marketing for a man. Folks, we joke about my buddy Don here on the show with the little, tag music and the whole thing. Don has worked with some of the biggest artists in music. You ever hear of someone named, I don't know, Madonna? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ever hear of her? Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. People like that. Just the biggest names.
Yeah, no, it really meant the world to me when
he understands
nice
marketing.
About
when he showed me that photo of how when you get all four of Anna's spices, the way they line up. Can you show it, Anna? Do you have it there anywhere?
I have it right here.
Okay, look at this. All right, you get that and you open it up and look at that. Anna, who came up with that?
Me.
That idea. You might care.
Do you know why?
Go on.
Because when we were little, all I wanted for Christmas was the Lifesavers book of candies.
Oh.
And I liked how they had the name, the flavors of the pack of candies written down the side really big so you could see it. So it's like buttered rum, variety pack, you know what I mean? I just liked that. So this is the Lifesavers book of candies inspired. And also then you know on your shelf too what it is. And then I just love the old vintage tin, so we designed all this is what they do on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah. They're made of tin. By the way, folks, you got to go check these things out.
So thank you, Seattle. I'll be back March or April. I have a few cities. I've got to go to New York and Boston in a couple weeks. And then I still need to go to Texas. I don't know.
So Anna, I want to end the show with a little motivation, since we talked about motivation here.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Folks, I've been saying this. This is my saying. The internet at some point took it over a bit. I think I'm still in the dictionary. What do they call that? The
Urban Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary. It doesn't matter what you eat between New Year's and Christmas.
Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't remember. Between Christmas and New Year's.
Yes.
It only matters what you eat between New Year's and Christmas. What I'm saying is, when it's your birthday, when it's Christmas, when it's New Year's, when it's a big holiday, Hanukkah, Rosh Hashanah, whatever your holidays are. I don't keep up with all of them. Rosh Hashanah is one where you eat food, right?
That's every Jewish holiday you eat food.
Yeah. I think Jews like to eat most days of the year.
I think everyone likes to eat most days of the year.
At any rate, when you get to these holidays, if there's something you want, don't feel guilty. You want to have your mom's chocolate pecan pie. You want to have the sweet potatoes with the little mushrooms on top. Whatever it is you want.
Don't have sweet potatoes with mushrooms on top, you guys. That sounds
That's
terrible.
something else. Yeah, I mean, people have things they
Marshmallow.
like.
You think marshmallows?
What did I say? Mushroom?
Yeah.
I meant marshmallow. Yeah, nobody wants it with the mushroom.
Nobody
on-
wants that.
Yeah.
Nobody enjoys that.
Yeah. Okay.
I know what you meant.
Listen, you want the little marshmallows, whatever. People have these things. It reminds you of, Marcel Proust talked a lot about this. It reminds you of childhood. It reminds you of love. It's love.
It is.
Do your thing. But do what I do. Don't take it home with you when you leave the party, or if
Smart.
you're throwing the party, give it to everyone else, or take it to a food shelter where people are hungry.
Good point.
There are a
Really
lot
good
of
point.
people who can, you go the next day and, you're saying, oh, I can make sandwiches and this and that with the leftover, this and that, and the whole thing. The leftover, that casserole thing. What's that casserole? People make the green beans and the whole thing.
Wild mushroom and green bean casserole is mine.
Yeah. Take it all. Take it all to a food kitchen or whatever.
Yeah.
Someone can enjoy this.
Right.
Don't let the holiday last for a week. And before you know it, you go, oh, it's 3 weeks. It'll be Christmas. You can completely derail yourself between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Enjoy it on that day. When that day is over with, go right back. Trust me on this. This is what you want to do. And you eat clean for 3 weeks. You get to Christmas. You want to have some Christmas cake or whatever people do. Do it. Do it. But don't eat. It's all the in between.
Right.
Right? That's when you want to be disciplined, not on that day. And if you're very new at this and you're going, screw it, Vinnie, I've done that. I've done no life into living on the holidays just to be in solidarity, to be in lockstep with people who are having trouble. I've done it with them so I can know what they feel like. I'm not planning on doing that this year, but I've done that in years past. I'm just being honest about it,
No,
Anna.
your honesty is refreshing. We love it.
So enjoy yourself on that day. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. Just enjoy. And by the way, speaking of religion, when you get to your family, don't talk about religion. Don't talk about
Yeah.
politics. Leave it all aside. Because guess what, folks? It doesn't matter
It doesn't
anyway.
matter.
If you're on the right, you're on the right. If they're on the left, they're on the left. You're not going to change their mind. They're not going to change your mind.
Nope.
Leave it alone. Enjoy people. Love people for who they are. Look at me doing this whole kumbaya thing.
I know. I love it. Somebody said to me recently, politics is the one topic of conversation that we could both agree and still wind up arguing. So let's just not talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So just leave it alone. And I'm going to do something this year that I haven't done for a couple of years, but I'm bringing it back because I'm bringing it back by popular demand.
Okay. But real quick, Villa Capelli olive oil, you should buy it.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay. I
Um,
didn't know if you were playing a song.
but- No, I'm going to, there's a song I'm going to play at the end.
Yeah.
Folks, it's an 18-minute song. It's a song that's it's known for being played on Thanksgiving. And I used to play it every year on the podcast. And at some point we stopped. I'm bringing it back this year. It's called Alice's Restaurant Massacre by the late, great Arlo Guthrie. But before we do that, Villa Capelli.
Yes.
Villa Capelli olive oil. Folks, Villa Capelli olive oil is the best olive oil on the planet. Period. End of story.
You
And
know
now
what's
Villa
really
Capelli
fun?
comes. Go on.
In Seattle, people were coming up going, I don't want to buy these olive oils. I'll get my Villa Capelli. And I was like, good.
Yeah.
Good.
It should be. Look, I use Villa Capelli over at purevitaminclub.com. You got to mix vitamin D with an oil. Most people mix their vitamin D with a seed oil or a cheap whatever.
They sure do.
We contract with Villa Capelli, and that's what's in our vitamin D. Villa Capelli, folks, best olive oil on the planet. Listen, you want to save 10%, put in promo code Vinnie, VINNIE, 10% every single time. If you spend more than $125 after the discount, you'll also get free shipping, which on 3 liters of olive oil, that's a big deal. Right.
It
So
is.
go check out Villa Capelli. Even if you buy the 750 milliliter thing the first time, do that. You'll have a nice canister to put the oil in the next time, because you will buy the big one the next time. Villa Capelli, let them know we sent you. Promo code Vinnie, Vinnie, no wimpy Y. Anna Vocino, if for no other reason you want to get these powders, you want to get them just because of the way she packs them. Even the beautiful Mr. Don Coddington
Don Coddington's Friday, 5 o'clock.
He loves the packaging. So for nothing else but the packaging, go get Anna Vocino's seasoning, and also get the gravy. Most people call it sauce. I call it gravy because I'm old school Italian. Go get everything at eathappykitchen.com by going to eathappykitchen.com. Did I say that correctly?
Yep. Eathappykitchen.com. A lady came up, just a shopper, said, hey, would you like to try some no sugar added pasta sauce? She goes, my family's from Sicily. We call it gravy. Have you heard of that? And I was like, yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard tell.
I would marry that woman, mustache and all.
She had that.
Oh, I know she did.
She did.
I always tell people, if you're dating an Italian woman when she's 23, wait a couple of years just to make sure. Check out her mom. Check out her nana. Go check out the nonna and see what's doing, because that's where they're heading. I'm 100% Italian. I can tell you where they're going. Anna.
Yes.
When I'm playing the massacre,
Yeah.
you need to leave this window open.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, just leave the window open and all that, and so we can upload the other thing. So, on behalf of Anna Vocino and her Substack, which is annavocino.substack.com, and on behalf of me, VinnieTortorich.com/VIP, or go check out Amazon.com before you go to. At any rate, on behalf of Anna Vocino, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living and do it with 18 minutes of Mr. Arlo Guthrie and Alice's Restaurant.